Hello and welcome back to the Wasteland podcast.
All right.
This is your host, Shane, and your co-host, Tyler.
Hey guys, it's me. You know me. Okay.
Okay. Now for two people you don't know.
Yes.
Our guests this week, Jeremiah.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey. And Joey.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Joey's been very highly requested by like one person, and so now we finally have Joey on.
So you're welcome, that one person.
You're welcome.
It was me. I wanted him on.
So so now let's right now. People are watching Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker.
I've already heard that it's not good.
I have seen the tomato meter said it was at 56. That's what the critics are saying. That's not what the fans. That's what because the critics were saying Last Jedi was really good, and then the fans said it was terrible.
Because it was.
And so, well, we'll get into that.
Okay. Yeah,
and
you're
so,
right.
And so now the critics are saying it's kind of meh. It's 50%, which is an F in high school terms. So that doesn't sound promising, but at the same time, I don't think it matters what critics say, because this is a third Star Wars movie in a trilogy, and like this is kind of for the nerds at this point. But maybe it is just a really poorly written, shitty movie with bad plot twists. I don't know. But we're not going to talk about that movie because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And this is going to come out. By the time this comes out, a lot of people will have seen it. But
yeah.
As of right now, we're going to talk about the previous Star Wars movies.
1 through 8.
Yeah, and after that, then we can talk about the other Star Wars media more loosely.
Okay.
But I do want to start with Episode 1 and just go in chronological order.
Do you want to go 1 through 8, or do you want to go 4
4 to 1 to then 7, 8.
Yeah.
No, we're going to start at 1 and then go that way.
Okay.
All right.
So who's seen Episode 1 recently enough to confidently talk about Episode 1?
I watched it a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
but I didn't pay enough attention to it because it lost my interest
Okay.
right when Jar Jar Binks was on the screen.
Yeah, so Episode 1 gets the reputation for being the worst Star Wars movie because of Jar Jar. I rewatched it myself a few weeks ago too, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but any scene with Jar Jar...
It was just bad.
Any scene with Jar Jar is like, wow, this really ruins the movie. But also, any scene with Anakin or Padme as well. But, like, you need those characters for the plot.
Yeah.
Even Jar Jar is really important to the plot for some reason. But Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul, and Palpatine were all really cool. Yeah.
The Jedi Council was really cool, and just seeing all that.
Yeah.
Just see the Jedi in their prime and all that. Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Episode 1 is that Palpatine is pulling the strings from both sides, and it's very clear, even in the first episode.
But you can also see how no one else would know.
Yeah. When you're a kid, you watch it and Jar Jar doesn't bug you, and you don't think Anakin's a bad actor. but you also miss like Palpatine talking about trade routes and trying to work his way into the Senate. Yeah. Being like, Queen Amidala, vote me in the Senate. Yeah. Then I can give Naboo more power. And it's like, oh, you were making the Separatists fight Naboo so you could get more power. Wow. That's cool, but you don't even get that as a kid. So it's a double-edged sword with Episode 1. It's hard to enjoy all the way.
I think if they either took out Jar Jar completely or replaced him with something that looks better and is not as annoying.
He's just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
That's the main thing,
Yeah.
He's fucking awful.
It would be an okay movie.
Yeah, I agree. What do you guys want to add? Maybe... like Darth Maul's cool.
Darth Maul, that fight scene was really cool, because in the other Star Wars up to that point, it was just they didn't have like the choreography. Yeah, they couldn't really show a true lightsaber fight.
I think Episode 1's fight is probably the best of all of them, actually. I think I would say that.
It's just because they didn't have the technology to show lightsaber duel like that, and that was really cool to see for the first time.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Pod racing is fucking stupid.
Pod racing was kind of
like, yeah.
The pod race scene, some people really like the pod race scene, but I'm more in your boat, Jeremiah. I completely think it's a waste of fucking time.
It would have been cool if they would have done like one lap
Yeah.
Like if it was really like demolition derby. Everyone has one lap to like be
It basically
in front.
was a demolition derby.
It was, but it took like forever. I haven't even watched the movie in a while, and I still get like I think I was gonna watch the movie more recently, and I was like, do I really want to watch 15 minutes of pod racing?
I was on my
that was
phone.
just put in for like games and stuff.
I mean it's almost fun to game.
It basically was.
Yeah, that's the main reason.
In the background of when Jabba's talking, you can actually see like a video game screen of pod racing, and they have that in episode 2 as well. It's like when they go to the bar, there's like pod racing video game shit in the background. And it's almost like, gee, it was just invented to sell toys, make the games, and all that stuff. And then pod racing never came up again in like any other Star Wars media.
No.
Which was a shame, because imagine if that was in like a new game, like there was oh, you're gonna have to race for your freedom. That could actually be really fun. So
I kind of want them to make fun of it in Mandalorian, because they've already gone back to like Tatooine and all that.
Yeah, they did go to Tatooine, which would be super dope to see.
Yeah. That bar.
Dude,
bar scene.
If the Mandalorian had to do a pod race, that would be fucking amazing. Especially because they could do their own take on it. Like, what did you guys think about the chase scene in Solo? The very beginning of Solo.
I thought that was really cool.
There's a car chase scene. I was like, damn, they should have just done that in episode 1 instead of a fucking pod race. Just
or
have, like, a chase
are we gonna
scene.
include those movies?
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
But they're not. They don't matter as much, in my opinion. But they're still fun. I like Solo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else? Are we ready to move on?
Do we want to rate it out of 5?
Oh yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5.
I would agree. 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 out of 5 too.
2 to 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, that Jar Jar fucks it up.
I can almost live with Jar Jar, but you add Jar Jar and pod racing together, like
that's the thing. Like the movie has a lot of bad things going for it.
Yeah.
And the coolest aspects of it, you don't understand when you're a kid. So when you're a kid and you can tolerate Jar Jar, you can't even understand the cool politics stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really a shit show. Like George Lucas really did not balance it very well. But now we're going to talk about my actual least favorite Star Wars movie, which is Attack of the Clones. I fucking hate this movie. I made Jeremiah and Shane. I almost called you James.
Sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
You better be.
I made Jeremiah and Shane watch the lightsaber fight from episode 2 just to say, look at this shit! It's so bad.
It was... You really just kept waiting for it to be like, oh shit.
When's the cool thing?
Yeah, like, they got fucking laser swords, where they're gonna do something cool, and they don't. Like,
when Yoda comes out, that's like when it starts to redeem itself. But even that fight lasts so little that it's like
nothing.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ, like, you had this great opportunity. Like, that's literally the only good part of it, but it's like the Anakin had 2 lightsabers at one point, and they fucked that up. He just loses it instantly. It's really stupid. It's really bad fight choreography, which is so weird, because episode 1 had such good fight choreography. And then they bring it back in episode 3 with good fights again. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. But what else was bad? Have anyone seen it recently?
Dude, the whole deal with Anakin and Padme in that movie was really annoying also.
Not only was like the love bad, like the romance bad and the writing is bad, but then it's like their delivery of the lines. Neither what's his name? Hayden Christensen, neither him or Natalie Portman. And I've seen like documentation trying to show that it's the director's fault, and it probably was. But they have no chemistry at all. The line delivery is awful. Anakin's lines are just trash in general. They make him sound like an evil incel. So it's...
I hate sand.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Every time that kid talks, there's like... It's like literally that George Lucas is not even trying to hide it. Like Padme's like talking to her people. It's literally her fucking job. And she's like giving orders, and Anakin's like, "We're not gonna do that. I'm the Jedi." And she's like, "You're a Padawan. Shut up." And she's like, "Why are you talking like that?" And it's like, they're supposed to be in love. like they're bickering constantly. And the only thing is that eventually Anakin's like, "I want to fuck you right now. I can't hold it anymore." And then Padme's like, "We can't. you're a Jedi and I'm a senator. And then he's like, I don't care about the Jedi Order. I'll fuck the shit out of you. And then in the end of the movie, they get married, and it's like, okay, so he doesn't care about the Jedi Order, I guess. Yeah. So it's a weird subplot. I mean, I get it. It's not that, like, story-wise, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense story-wise, but it's just so hard to watch.
Yeah. And I don't have the patience to go back and watch it because I don't want to put myself through that.
The only scenes I enjoy in episode 2 are when Mace Windu first pulls out his purple lightsaber and kills Jango Fett. That's pretty cool.
I was about to say when the clones and Jedi all show up, but
yeah,
that's about it.
The clones, I actually really do like the clones, so good job on that one. The Clone Wars series is really good, and episode 2, started that. But, man, was it a shit movie. So, I guess let's rate it out of 5. I'm going to say 1 out of 5. I fucking hate this movie.
From what I've seen, with the fight scene and everything, and just from what you've told me, I have to give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with Tyler. It's my least favorite one. I hate it, so I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5.
Fucking sucks.
I'll give it a solid 1.5. I don't know.
Being a little nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to judge it too harshly because I haven't seen it yet.
Natalie Portman is kind of cute, so...
Yeah, that's like the only good part about...
But how cute can a girl be to save the movie? No. Alright, let's move on to the prequel.
Margot Robbie kind of saved Suicide Squad.
Did she? I don't know if I agree with that.
I would not say so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I agree, but I am excited to see her in Birds of Prey. I'm not gonna lie, that movie does look a little bit better. So.
It does look good. But that's not what we're talking about today, Tyler.
We can talk about anything.
No.
We can go on tangents.
No.
We can talk
Episode 3, go.
Okay. Episode 3. This movie is the one everyone says is a good one. I don't think it's as good as people say, but I will say it's by far the best prequel by a landslide. Like, not even a competition. But I do like episode 1, but I think I like this movie more. Joey, what do you want to say about episode 3?
There's too much talking in it, too much political stuff going on, but other than that...
That's the one where Anakin, kills all the younglings and...
Yeah, so episode 3, that's the one where Anakin kills a bunch of children.
That's awesome.
But he does in episode 2 as well. In episode 2, Anakin goes to Padme, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "I killed all the Tusken Raiders. Not just the men, but the women and children." And she's like, "I'm in love with you, dude."
She's like, "Bro, it doesn't even matter.
No,
let's make a baby."
She's like, "Dude, stop talking with your stupid bullshit life. I'm fucking horny." And,
how did you know that's my king?
she's like, "I love when men just kill people without mercy."
I mean, he was 17 in that movie too, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be younger, adult. But in episode 3, this is Anakin as a full... Anakin in episode 3 seems like such a well-adjusted human being at this movie.
Yeah.
He definitely grew out of his edgy incel teen years, and now he's a functioning adult. And Anakin's actually a cool character in episode 3. It's the first time in the prequels where he's actually pretty cool. But, yeah, he kills a bunch of children. He kills the younglings because he has to, because otherwise they'll become Jedis and come after him one day. So, I understand the logic, but yeah. So what was your point? What were you going to say after you asked me about that?
I don't know, that's an iconic scene.
It is.
Yeah.
Because of memes.
Because this movie has a lot of memes.
Most of the Star Wars memes are from episode
Almost
3.
all Star Wars memes are from episode 3. And it does go to show that it really is the best and most memorable. But I have to agree with Joey, there's way too much talking in politics. Mainly because, you see, it's not that politics is bad, because I actually do like it in episode 1 a lot. But in episode 1, it's Palpatine being like, "Oh, let's give me more power. There's a war going on. We need to do this." And in episode 3, it's a lot of just them explaining the plot to the audience. And it's like, couldn't you just show me this in a cool scene?
Yeah.
Do you really have to just talk the entire movie? When Mace Windu fights Palpatine, it's finally, the politics is adding up to something. But before that, it's kind of a snore fest. But I will say, the opening scene where they're in the spaceships and they go rescue Palpatine, that's pretty dope. What do you guys think about General Grievous?
He's pretty cool, especially once you learn more about him and like who he was before he was General Grievous and stuff.
Don't you wish that was in Episode 3?
Oh sure.
It's not even in the movie.
I know, I wasn't even paying.
Isn't it?
I know, but like that's the thing. Like he's kind of a disappointment to me. But like I love him in Star Wars media. But in Episode 3, they kind of squandered him. Don't you think?
Like they just kind of threw him in there as, someone to fight.
He doesn't really do much in that movie, and when he does, he just kind of all he does is say General Kenobi.
Yeah.
And then
he's badass. He has 4 lightsabers.
Yeah, but like the fight scene itself isn't that great. Like you don't get a cool fight scene with Obi-Wan like fighting a guy with 4 lightsabers. It quickly turns into a chase scene, and Obi-Wan has to shoot him in the chest with a laser gun.
What?
Yeah, and it's like, why doesn't... it wouldn't have been awesome if Obi-Wan like had to like dismember his arms one by one, and maybe he got 2 lightsabers from Grievous, and they like did double two... There was lots of cool ideas.
The Jedi don't use laser guns.
The only good thing about that scene is Obi-Wan calls it clumsy and throws it on the ground. That's the only good thing. But to me, General Grievous is the worst of the Star Wars villains in the movies. In the media itself, he's awesome.
Like Clone Wars.
Yeah, like the Clone Wars show, he's fucking badass. But the movie...
Yeah, he has an awesome backstory if you ever look into that.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the main issues, is that they don't...
They just plop him in there with nothing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's this guy with 4 arms and he's bad, go fight him.
He coughs sometimes. It's
yeah,
pretty cool.
That they did set that up in the Clone Wars show, and you had to watch it before Episode 3 came out. I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking watch it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
No, I had to ask you. I was like, wait, why the fuck does he cough?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Because Mace Windu uses the Force on his chest and crushes it, which kind of makes you wonder, why don't they just do that? Why don't they just crush his skull or something? If Mace Windu can just do that whenever, then why don't they just do that and just blow his head up or something?
Honestly, that would have been, like, they could have pulled some, like, Indiana Jones shit where, like, Grievous, like, pulls out all 4 of his lightsabers, and then Obi-Wan just, like, flicks off his head with the Force, and it's like, oh, yeah, so...
Yeah. I there's parts about that I like, but the movie itself just doesn't do it for me. And then we have to talk about the final fight scene. So I am curious, Joey, what do you think? Like, what are your impressions of the final fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin?
I think it's alright, some parts. But
I mean, it does kind of go in and out with the Yoda fight.
That's what I don't like about it. They just focused on it, like the whole fight, just that, like Anakin and Obi-Wan just finished their fight without it, like switching back and forth. That would have been way better, but
while it's cool that Yoda and Palpatine are fighting each other, that's like Yoda is like the master of the Force, and the Emperor is the fucking Emperor. So having them fight is pretty badass. But then it kind of ends in a shitty way where Yoda just kind of runs away for no reason. I guess because he's old.
When they were trying to mirror like Cloud City, because they had him literally go down a pipe and fall out a hole into a vehicle.
But the difference is that like Luke was like completely beaten in Cloud City.
Yeah,
he had to surrender at that point. And I guess we'll get into that when we talk about Episode 5. But that was like a perfect ending. That's like the best way to write an ending like that.
Yeah.
Like even when we talk about the new Disney ones, like I don't like the ending where Rey and Kylo the Earth separates at the end of 7. No. I don't like how in Episode 8 Luke just like makes the entire Empire fight him only by himself, and then everyone runs away. Like, what kind of stupid fucking military leader would only target one guy, then tell everyone to stand down so you can go fight him? Like, it just makes no sense. And then you have Episode 5 where they write this fantastic ending, and how come Episode 5 is the only one that can do that? Well, Episode 6 was good too, but how come those are the good ones? Like, why can't you write an ending that makes sense? But Episode 3, I think the ending's fine. You know, the high ground meme is perfect. But that fight is just too long for me. And it's not impressive, basically. Like, they thought, like, it was quantity over quality. And that's why when people love Episode 3, I'm like, no, you're wrong. You're not allowed to like it. But at the same time, it's by far the best. Like, it's in a whole nother league compared to the other ones. So, what are you going to rate it?
I guess I'll give it a 3.5.
3.5.
So it's better than the first one, but not by a lot.
Yeah. 3.5 is accurate. That's a good score. I was going to give it just a normal 3, but I do want to be like, it is a little bit better. A little bit better. So I'll give it 3.5.
Yeah, I'll have to go 3.5 too. There's some parts of it that makes it better than the first two, but still
a shit show.
Yeah, same as the rest of them. 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. Like,
now we're going to talk about the one that started it all. Now we're going to talk about the one that we all actually like. We're going to stop being mean to Star Wars and talk about the good one. So this is Star Wars, otherwise known as A New Hope, Episode 4. Yes. 1977, remade like 10 times. But we don't... Whatever. I'm not going to talk about the differences and why the new effects are bad. That's just not going to be important to this conversation.
You could just watch it, and it's easy to spot out.
Yeah, no, you can clearly tell what they CGI'd later.
It's very bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But I'm not going to say that hurts the movie, because at one point, it didn't have that shit.
Yeah.
So, Shane, you take this one.
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, because I know you've seen this one recently.
Yeah, Episode 4 is just... It's so good for what it is. I think George Lucas really just, like, wrote a masterpiece. And, like, the way he did it, he just, like, put all these intricate plots and lore into, like, this whole... all into one movie. And it kind of makes you just want more, and, like there's so much mystery and depth.
There is a lot of mystery, and it's really simple. And that's part of why I like it so much, is because it's not that complicated of a movie.
Right.
But he doesn't need to be. Like, when you watch Harrison Ford act in that movie, it's so compelling. And it's like, this is literally all you need. Like, you don't need the rest of it at all. I'm glad he went into more details in, like, the prequels and all. But it's just so perfect the way it is. So.
Yeah, it's not more than what it tries to be. It's just a story about rebels against the Empire
versus
space.
evil. Good versus
evil. It's literally just good versus evil. Darth Vader's a big, scary black guy. And we all know that. But, and you know, it's cool. It's just a good movie. Yeah. What are some of your favorite parts? Because I kind of mentioned Harrison Ford. Han Solo's definitely my favorite character in the original trilogy. But what's some of your favorite parts of Episode 4?
I really like, obviously, the Obi and Vader fight.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
When they're stuck in the trash compactor.
I was going to mention that.
One of the best ones in that movie. Like that
one's really good.
That's super awesome Star Wars history moment.
I also like whenever they're in the room and Han Solo's talking to the guy on the phone.
Yes, I was going to mention that. I was going to mention that. He's like
so funny.
The stormtroopers are like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Nothing. We're fine. Everything's fine." He says we're fine like 5 times. He goes, "How are you?" It's like this.
We just had an accidental gun misfire.
Yeah. And so like when people kind of make fun of the new Disney movies, a lot of times they make fun of like the jokes and stuff. But I'm like, well, the prequels didn't have jokes, but the originals did. The originals were kind of like funny like that. They were you would end up really liking the characters, you know. That's important.
It might just be because it's the first one, but I feel like it just like kind of knew what it wanted to do.
Yeah, it's.
Like, I mean, they really knew how to balance the seriousness and the funny.
I think they kind of wanted to treat it a little bit more campy in that movie because they're like, this is really goofy what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's literally just like a normal princess tale in outer space.
Yeah.
You know, it's seriously as simple and easy as it can get. So, any other scenes, Joey and Jeremiah?
See the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
Yeah,
my favorite.
That scene's good just because
other people's.
Everything that happens in Mos Eisley.
Yes. What I love about that movie is that in the prequels, there's a lot of like rules about what it means to be a Jedi, and then Obi-Wan is just like the stormtroopers like, are these the droids? And he's like, these aren't the droids you're looking for. And it's like, Obi-Wan doesn't... And then, like, they go to the bar, and Obi-Wan just, like, cuts a guy's arm off. He's like, yeah, I have a lightsaber. What are you gonna... What? Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Jedi Order is not a thing anymore.
So he's just a crazy old man with a lightsaber.
Well, it kind of changes the rules of, like, what a Jedi is meant to be. Like, maybe in the prequels, yes, they had all these rules and this order. But in Episode 4, Obi-Wan just was like, this is for the greater good, motherfucker. And he was like, hey, don't fuck with my friend. And cuts the guy's arm off. Like, you'll live. Don't whine. You get a robot arm. I've seen Episode 5.
And then Han Solo right after that.
Yeah.
With the Greedo.
Yes. Yeah. Han Solo just...
dodging the...
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Just going,
I don't know. That conversation's really silly, but at the same time, it's really even more silly that George Lucas keeps changing that scene.
Yeah.
And adds in Han Solo doing like a Matrix dodge of the laser. It was literally fine.
Right. He doesn't need to be more badass than just shooting a guy.
Yeah. But whatever. Han Solo is definitely he's my favorite character of the original trilogy. He's just fucking awesome. I just love his attitude. I mean, it's Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
But, like, I watched that movie before I saw Indiana Jones. And then when I watch Indiana Jones, I'm like, God, I fucking love Harrison Ford.
I also love... So, like, Luke is just a whiny bitch the entire first movie.
Yeah.
But that's so important because later on he, like, matures and you get to see how much he matures.
Yeah, that's really good to do in movies. And
it's like a great character arc.
I really love that Obi-Wan's just hanging out with Luke and Han on the Falcon, and Obi-Wan doesn't say shit, and Han's like, "Kid, I've seen a lot of shit in this world, and I ain't never seen no goddamn Jedi." And he goes, "The Force is bullshit," and Luke's like, "Whatever, you don't know anything." And then at the end of the movie, Han says, "May the Force be with you," because he kind of like has more faith in Luke and Obi-Wan at that point. And it's really cool. It's a really cool little moment to show a little character growth for Han Solo there. Yeah. And then he becomes like an ultimate good guy in the next one. So let's talk about what we're rating this movie. Because I gotta give this a fucking 5 out of 5. I fucking love this movie.
I do too, but...
This is why I like Star Wars.
I'm gonna say 4.5 out of 5.
That's fine.
Just because Episode 5 is going to be a 5 out of 5.
Episode 5 is better.
And so everything except for Episode 5 has to be lower than that.
Okay. What are you saying, Joey?
I'll give it a 5 out of 5. You can't go wrong with the first Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's fucking perfect. It's the reason why we like Star Wars is the original trilogy. At the end of the day, like, I don't think anyone likes the prequels more or the sequel. No one likes the sequels more than the originals.
You don't even have to be like a Star Wars nerd to watch the original trilogy and be like, "That's a good fucking."
The funny thing is that whenever I try to explain this to people who haven't seen Star Wars, because the new ones are coming out now, I'm always like, it's really not that nerdy of a, like, you might think it's only for geeks, but it's really not. It's really for everyone. I mean, when it came out, everyone liked it. It only became nerdy when the prequels came out, because those are nerdy fucking movies. I mean, I won't lie. But the originals, anyone can really enjoy. As long as you're okay with watching an older movie, that doesn't bother you. You don't have too bad of ADHD, then you'll be okay. Like, it's a good movie.
Also, all the extended universe stuff made it nerdy. Whenever you have, like...
Oh, yeah. No,
3 million pages of material on, like, Darth Vader's fucking suit.
The nerds are there. The nerds are there, but you can watch the movies just fine. You don't need all that.
You don't... Yeah.
But a lot of people who watch the movies do become nerds.
Because they're just...
Because the movie's just that good.
Yeah.
You have to know more.
So, let's talk about... do we all agree right off the bat this is the best one?
Episode 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is like how you write a bad ending in a movie. This is like 101 how you do it. Like, this is fucking perfect.
A bad ending in a movie?
When I say bad ending, I mean the good guys lose.
Oh, okay.
This is how you fucking write this shit.
Yeah, really. So, this starts off when they're on Hoth, right?
Yeah, which is already, like, badass. Like,
yeah.
Super iconic, amazing scenes right off the bat.
It's so cool. Just seeing another planet, seeing, like, the diversity.
The movie starts with, like, this is what you know about the Force. Makes you good at shooting Death Stars, and you can, like, wave your hand at bad guys and they leave you alone.
Right.
And then in this movie, right off the bat, Luke's, like, frozen, and he's like, I need my lightsaber, and it starts, like, twitching, and he's, like, moving with his brain. You're like, what the fuck?
Right.
So this is already, like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, this is where not only does the Force get established there, but then Yoda does this great speech, basically just saying, "This is what the fuck the Force is," just so everyone knows.
Yeah.
And every Yoda in this movie is like so amazing.
The best version of Yoda.
Yoda kicks ass in this movie.
Agreed.
He's just like, Luke, stop being a whiny bitch. And then lifts a ship out of the swamp. And he's like, see, you could do that, but you're being a bitch right now.
Yeah. Luke's like, that scene's literally amazing, because Luke's like, I can't do it. It's impossible. And Yoda does it. And he's just like, nothing's impossible, motherfucker. Follow your dreams. And Luke's like, goddamn, boy. And yeah, I love that scene so much. And it's like playing like the fucking John Williams score while Yoda's like, look around you. Look how beautiful this world is. It's like, yes, hell yeah. It's so good. Yeah. Joey, you complained about the Anakin Padme love scene, which was in the movie because it's kind of trying to mirror Episode 5 and its love scene. So what do you think about Han Solo and Leia's romance?
It really doesn't focus on them as much as it did the other ones.
No, it does not.
So it's not as bad, and someone makes it funny too with like involving Luke in there also. Is that one point?
Yeah, big kid.
Yeah. So in the very beginning,
yeah.
Leia's trying to make Han Solo jealous, and she kisses Luke, unknowing that, And Luke, that scene's amazing, because Luke just kind of puts his arms behind his head,
he's like,
what's up? He's like, hey. And Han looks fucking pissed. Because the whole movie, Han's just like, I know you like me, just admit it. I think that's why this romance works a lot better for me. It's a lot more believable, for one.
Right.
Because in Episode 2, Anakin's just like, I'm fucking weird. And Padme's like, I'm fucking so wet right now. And then in Episode 5, Han's like, come on, baby. And she's like, fuck off, dude.
But she, like, you can tell she's kind of digging it.
Yeah, but then at the very end, she says, I love you. And he says, I know. Which originally, I'm sure you guys know this, but originally, George Lucas wrote, I love you too. And Harrison Ford said, no, Han wouldn't say that. And so he says, I know. Which obviously we know he loves her. He's been hitting on her the whole fucking movie. Yeah. It's like, that's good. That's really good writing right there. So, like, that's good storytelling. That's a great romance. The fact that it ends kind of tragic with Han being frozen in carbonite. And how it's a really cool effect. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But that's good that it ends that way, because you don't see a lot of movies where the bad guy wins.
No, it's like they were betrayed by Lando, Han's frozen, Luke's been defeated by Vader. But at the end, they're all together, and they're like, we lost the fight, but we didn't lose the war.
Right.
That's how you do this, man. That's awesome.
Just, the most famous part, like, moment in movie history.
Yeah, most famous scene ever.
Yeah, Vader, I'm your father, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. That was just... And that whole fight scene is really cool.
That fight scene is shot amazingly, especially when they're in like the carbonation room where it's like just their silhouettes and then the colors of their lightsabers.
And then like
fucking perfect.
I love it whenever Vader like
he's like throwing shit at him with his brain.
Yeah, that and Vader like kicks him down into the carbonite hole.
Yeah.
And Luke, you just see him shoot up.
Yeah.
And then Vader's like, that was really easy. You're dumb and stupid.
You can tell Vader's just bullying him the whole time.
And then Luke like drops down and he's like, oh, you're actually kind of good.
Yeah.
You're like you're
kind of badass.
You're kind of cool. You're not as sucky as I thought. So that was like really cool. And then the cutting off his hand and kind of attached him to Vader in a way.
Yeah. What I really like about the Luke Vader fight is that Yoda is like, you can't go fight him. You will lose. And Luke's like, if I don't fight him, my friends are dead.
Yeah. And
Yoda's like, you gotta trust your friends that they'll be okay because you're gonna die if you go fight him. And Luke's like, no, I have to beat Vader. And he goes out. He thinks this is his father's killer. He thinks this guy killed his dad, and he wants to fucking kill this guy. And this is kind of the Force's way of telling Luke, like, no, the world's a little bit more complicated than that. So in the first movie, Vader was a very black and white movie, good versus evil. Mm-hmm. In Episode 5, it's very much, hey, yeah, it's evil, but he's not just a machine. He is a human being. He's your father.
Yeah, it puts humanity into him. And it's like, Well,
and then Luke's like, I don't.
He can be good, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, because Vader was a fallen Jedi, but at the same time, it's like, can you kill your own dad?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And immediately right after that, Luke just calls him father for the rest of the.
Yeah. After that, Luke says, "Papa, why did you leave, Papa?"
Yeah. Why does he call him
scene.
father?
Weird scene.
I don't know why.
Yeah. So then
he's just like, okay, yeah, you're my father.
Okay, hi, Daddy. How are you today? Weird scenes. But you know, great movie, great ending, fantastic ending, minus the father stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5.
5, yeah.
Star Wars episode 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Basically, the perfect sequel. One of the best movie cliffhangers ever.
One of the best movies.
Most iconic pop culture moment ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So
you could like.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
This line
you
of
can
"I'm
go
your
to
father."
Literally anyone, even if they don't even know who Darth Vader is, and be like,
everyone knows this shit.
I'm your father.
So yeah, literally perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Episode 6.
Episode 6. Not as good, but still pretty good.
I know a lot of people who say 6 is their actual favorite, and they like 6 the most. It's charming in some ways, but
I can see it being someone's favorite, but Episode 5 is a lot better.
I do very much like the final scene.
Yeah.
With like Vader and Palpatine and.
That is.
Yeah.
I just like how it also shows Luke growing more into like a Jedi.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
He's really accepted his role, and
even though I like those two movies more, I love the direction of Luke. I love how he acts when he's in Jabba's palace. He's so calm, like he's not phased at all.
Whereas in the first movie, you would have been like,
"Yeah,
he's you're a bitch."
Yeah.
In
the first movie, it would have gone horribly if he tried to do that shit. But Luke is just a fucking badass to like the ultimate degree in Episode 6, and that is completely acceptable and fine at this point. It's the third movie. We know that he's been trying to train more and get more in tune with the Force.
You get to see his new lightsaber too.
Yeah, that's
new lightsaber.
The green lightsaber is way cooler.
Yes.
Yeah.
It invented the color green for lightsabers, and thank God for that. It just stands out really well. And I'm glad there's two different colors and all, but yeah, the green one just really stands out.
Towards the end, because, all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, this seems like the Rebels are going to win really easily. And then the Empire's like, oh, we actually knew all this shit, and you're fucked. And then you're like, oh, wait, what's going on? Are they actually going to be fucked?
Yeah.
And then they're not fucked, and then they win. And it's kind of cool.
It is a cooler ending. Though I will say, the stuff with the Ewoks and even the battle with the Ewoks kind of bored me a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Ewoks?
Ewoks kind of suck.
Yeah.
They're
not the biggest fan of them.
Toys.
Yeah, toys. Like,
some people will mention the Ewoks as to why they like Episode 6 so much. And to me, the Ewoks are inherently Star Wars. Like, when you think Star Wars, I do think Ewoks. It's something that Star Wars brings to the table. Like, Star Wars can have cutesy, silly stuff in it, as well as dark, sinister stuff in it. And to me, that does make Star Wars great, that Darth Maul and Ewoks exist in the same universe.
But it was cool that there's, like, this whole... Like, every planet we've been to is, like, super civilized and, like, super advanced. And then you go to this planet that hasn't been touched by anything.
It's just fucking...
And it's just, like, these...
Teddy bears with sticks.
Yeah. It's like, how are they not, like, super advanced
when
like
they
everyone
kill
else?
When they kill AT-STs, they use, like, trees that, like, come together and, like, smash them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like...
That was a really cool hand gesture you just did there.
Yeah. They can't... Guys, pretend that I took one hand on my right side and one hand on my left side, and then I slowly put them together as if I was smashing an AT-ST with my hands. Yeah, no. Someone help me out here. The Ewoks, while I think they're really cool, I just think a lot of the scenes happened with them were fucking boring.
Yeah.
Especially C-3PO being God.
Yeah.
That fucking sucked.
Yeah. Luke was like, tell him I'll use your magic.
I'll use my magical powers. I'm a wizard. like old Ben was.
Also, that... Like, to come back to the, like, cutesy stuff and dark stuff being in the same universe,
yeah.
The Ewoks were literally going to eat all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
They are still bears.
Yeah. Like...
No, they were drumming on stormtrooper helmets. Did they take the helmets off, or are those decapitated heads?
No, I mean, I assume they took the helmets off, but like,
I don't know.
Where's the rest of the head? Like, you don't ever see the heads anywhere.
It's fucking weird.
How did they make different noises with the?
Yeah,
they just took out parts of the head and left others in there.
Yeah. Ewoks, I don't trust them.
Ewoks there's some sketchy motherfuckers. Like,
the true evil ones.
Yeah, the true enemies of the true villains of Star Wars were the Ewoks. How would you guys feel if Ewoks showed up in Episode 9? We don't know. Some people know, but some people are theorizing that they go back to Yavin 4 or Endor because that's where a destroyed Death Star could be, one of those locations. So what if when they go, let's say they go back to Endor in Episode 9, and let's say there's Ewoks. How would you guys feel if they did Ewoks again in Episode 9?
Are there fucking Ewoks in 9?
No,
okay.
I have no idea.
Okay, earlier you were telling me you had part of the movie spoiled for you.
Yeah, but the part that's spoiled for me isn't really that big a deal.
I have the entire movie spoiled for me.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, don't spoil it.
I read it on... No. I read it on iFunny. I saw, like, the beginning. I was like, oh, now I'm just going to read all of it because I just saw it.
Yeah, well, I'm still watching it. I have a lot of... I look, here's my thing about the Disney movies, because we're about to start talking about Episode 7.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go ahead and rate this movie. I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5, just like Episode 1. It is entertaining and good, and I liked it.
What did I give? Did I give 1 a 3?
One of you gave it a 2. No, Jeremiah gave 2.5.
4.
Wait, 4.
What did I give Episode 4? A 3?
You gave
it a 4.
Episode 4, you gave it a 5.
No, he gave it a 4 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5.
4.5. Okay.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say a 3.5 or a 4 for this.
What's your definitive number?
Oh, shit. 3.75.
Okay.
Alright. I'm going to have to go 4.
Yeah. That's respectable.
It's one of my favorite movies growing up, so I have to.
Yeah. 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
The weakest of the original trilogy, but still better than pretty much everything else.
Yeah. When it comes to Star Wars, and people are like, name your top 10 Star Wars? And it's like, 4, 5, 6. And then you start talking about the rest. So, yeah. So, the thing about the Disney movies is that when I heard that George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, I was like, well, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, they're tolerable. These will probably be better than the prequels. I'm fine with this. And then they said J.J. Abrams was involved, and J.J. Abrams did the Star Trek movies, which I really, really like. And I was like, oh, fuck. I might really like this fucking movie. And then I saw this little clip of Abrams being like, yeah, we're shooting everything on set. The prequels used all blue screens. We're not doing that fucking shit. We're going to use actual practical effects with explosions and fire. And we're going to make a whole bunch of monsters. It's going to be fucking awesome. And I was like, God damn it. This is Star Wars. It's like, this is what I want it to be. And so for me, Episode 7 blew me the fuck away. I fucking loved Episode 7.
Yeah.
So, anyone want to shit on Episode 7? Rain on my parade now that I said I fucking love it?
I was just pretty much Episode 4.
I was just really happy there was in there Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was really good. And I really like they have really updated like the lasers and stuff. Like lightsabers and lasers in that movie look fucking awesome compared to every other like.
What they used to do was they used those sticks and they would put the little color effect over it.
Yeah.
And by Episode 3, it looks really good.
Yeah.
But in Episode 7, they use actual light up lightsabers, which means when they clash and stuff, that's the actual lighting from the prop. So whenever you see the red reflection on Kylo and the blue reflection on Rey and Finn, that's from the actual fucking prop. And that's why the lighting looks so goddamn good. And this is where they go, okay, we're going to make this movie look visually stunning. They create a whole snow set inside of a place. Yeah, it's got blue screen backgrounds, but it's a whole bunch of trees, a bunch of fake trees they made, and all that snow. They put a bunch of fake snow on the ground. So you have this awesome-ass sword fight with, like, awesome visuals in the snow, and it's fucking beautiful. I fucking love this movie.
It's probably the best-looking movie out of all of them.
Yeah, it's really just phenomenal. Yeah. Now, do looks equal a good movie? No. but it fucking helps. Fucking helps a lot.
It helps immerse you, like especially that scene early on in that first scene where like all the villagers are getting murdered and everything.
Yes,
and
which I love.
Kylo stops that laser bolt. I have gone back and watched that scene, just that scene, many times. Because
I didn't even think they were gonna do new Force powers because they haven't done new Force powers since fucking Episode 6.
Yeah,
when they did the lightning for the first time. But like right off the bat, they're like, "Bam! Kylo has new Force powers that you've never seen before." And it's like, "Oh fuck!" Like this is exactly what I want. And then he starts doing mind reading stuff. It's like, "Yes, yes, yes! Give me this." And then, also, that scene's amazing because Finn is one of the stormtroopers, and his friend gets shot and smears blood all over his stormtrooper helmet. And you're like, oh, fuck. And he starts looking around at all of his friends dying. It's like, oh, yeah, this is called Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is a war.
And also, it does a really good job. Like, if you're going to make a stormtrooper a character...
Yeah.
You need to have a way to mark them. In every scene, you see those 3 bright red stripes right across his face. And you're like, that's the one who's, like, losing his shit right now.
Both Kylo and Phasma are, like, picking him out, too. There's, like, something's wrong with that stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. So, I wish I could give this movie a 5 out of 5. But I will say it does play it really safe. Like Shane said, it's basically just Episode 4. It is super safe. But at the same time... That's kind of all I wanted because I hated the prequels a lot. Yeah. I kind of just wanted it to be Star Wars again. And it felt like I can watch a prequel and say, not really Star Wars. But when I watch 7, I'm like, this is fucking Star Wars. This is why. And usually when I show people Star Wars, I show them Episode 7 first. Because it's a great modern movie to introduce someone into the Star Wars universe. Oh. And I just fucking love it.
Yeah.
I honestly, you know what? I might give it a 5 out of 5. So everyone else say their numbers, and then I'll decide. Wait, actually, let's talk about Harrison Ford. Fucking making that movie so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I just love Harrison Ford.
He fucking rocks in Episode 7. He brought his A game for Episode 7.
Yeah. And then he dies.
He does die, but, I mean, he definitely probably wouldn't have done it if he didn't die.
Yeah.
He wanted to be dead. He didn't want to be a part of another Star Wars movie.
Well, and like the whole thing with having the old cast back is the movie didn't just piggyback off of that.
Yeah.
It made its own story. Unlike with like Terminator.
Terminator just is like, oh, we have the 2 old people back. It's like, yeah okay. But with this, it's like you come for Harrison Ford, but then you stay. Don't laugh at that. but then you stay for the new characters. Like you end up liking Rey and Finn, and then Episode 8 happens, and we'll get to that. But I really liked Rey and Finn at the end of Episode 7. I really was excited to see where their story was going, and I'm hoping 9 makes me love them again. And it looks like I will because they're just having Rey, Poe, and Finn hang out by themselves, away from everyone else. And that's going to be most of the movie. And I'm like...
That's good.
Not, what's his fucking girlfriend?
Rose is doing something, but it has nothing to do with what they're doing.
Okay, that's good.
We'll talk about Rose.
Oh, yeah. 8's probably going to be the longest segment. Because 8's so divisive. But so wait, what's your scores?
I'll give it a 3.5.
4.5 out of 5.
I'll give it 3.
3? I'm still torn between 4 and 5, but you know what? I gotta go with 4.5, like Jeremiah said.
Yeah.
Because
I
fucking love that movie.
And like
it is just.
Parents.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool. You're like,
that's what I like about
Solo or what?
Yeah, it actually set up oh no, but also like that before you see 7, this was my mindset going into 7. I was like, okay, so Finn's the new main character. He's the new Jedi. Rey must be like a Jedi who doesn't have access to any Jedi stuff, and she's going to teach Finn about Jedi shit. That's literally what I was thinking going into it. And then I was like, everyone was like, who's Kylo Ren? And they're like, he's got to be Luke's son, right? Luke's fucking son. And then someone online said, no, his name is Kylo. That's Skywalker and Solo put together. That means he's the son of Han Solo and Princess Leia. And I was like, that's got to be it. And then it was right. When they say that in the movie, they're like, because remember, when you first walked into it, you didn't know that was Han Solo's son.
Yeah.
So when you get that reveal, and it's like right off the bat too. They don't like wait for the end. There's like, nope, you want to know who this is? This is fucking Han Solo's son.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
Yeah. Then like, yeah, everyone thought that like Finn was going to be the new Jedi because he even gets the lightsaber. Yeah. And he starts like
he has the lightsaber most of the movie, and on the movie poster he's got the lightsaber in his hand.
And that's kind of what they were going for. And then Rey like is actually the badass Jedi.
Yeah,
and kind of fucks everything up because obviously Finn with the scenes with Finn and the lightsaber, he doesn't know how to fucking handle it.
Finn's story arc is that he's cowardly, and then he kind of finds the courage he needs to come back and save his friend Rey. Which I always thought he kind of wanted to bang Rey. But Rey didn't want to bang him,
Rey's
so
hot.
he's been friend zoned by Rey. And she's like, "You're a good friend, but you're black, and I don't want to bang you." Kylo, though, which I don't like that.
I feel like they're cousins, though.
I hope they are, because then people would stop trying to make them fuck each other.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of hearing about this. I think it's really stupid to have a character who has a huge boner for Han Solo and then be like, "Oh, you're Han Solo's son and you killed your father. I like you." Like, no, you should hate that person.
Yeah.
You should not be friends with Kylo Ren. So, I'm gonna give this movie a.
I didn't like
4.5.
Kylo Ren as a villain anyway.
You didn't like him?
I didn't.
A lot of people thought he was annoying.
He was kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
He was kind of just temperamental and.
I don't think every villain should just be this sinister like.
I think he has a lot more
ha kind of guy. Yeah. Like you can be a bad guy who's just a piece of shit.
Part of why I like Kylo Ren is because it kind of reminds me, people compared it to like Airbender stuff, like Avatar, because it's like there's a fire guy.
Oh, Zuko.
Yeah, and like he's bad, and then he like learns and trains and gets better. It reminds me of that. It's like we're seeing a dark side Padawan, He's going to get stronger with the Force over time. And then people are like, oh yeah, they're going to team up at the end.
Honestly, I like Kylo Ren, but I would not compare him to Zuko. Okay. Like, Zuko has a fucking amazing arc. Like, if you haven't watched
see, that's what people are saying.
Watched Avatar, you got to watch Avatar.
People were saying that at the end of episode 7, before 8 came out.
Yeah.
So, hoping that 8 would be really deliver on character stuff, but, so yeah, we all kind of agree it's like a 3, 3.5, 4.5 movie.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the controversial one.
Yeah.
Because most people agree that the prequels are shit. And most people agree that the originals are amazing. A lot of people say 7 is good, but it copies the originals too much, which I can even agree, just despite loving it. Have you guys watched... I know Jeremiah watches Cosmonaut.
Yes, yeah.
He recently said that it's so stupid that people say that these movies aren't original, and then they love Stranger Things, which isn't original at all, because that's not the point. Because you don't have to be original to be good. And I agree with that. That's why I like Episode 7. But Episode 8 is not bad because it's unoriginal. Which it is unoriginal. But it's not bad because it's unoriginal. It's bad for some other reasons.
Yeah.
Who wants to dive in on hating 8? Joey? Or Shane? Shane, you want to do it?
Okay. I don't even know where to start. So, fuck. I've only seen this movie once. So
I can do it if you want.
Okay. You take it.
And
I'll dive in.
Rose.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking Rose.
Let's have a talk about her. Right.
So at first, when you first see her,
Okay, so J.J. Abrams did not direct this one.
No, he has nothing to do with this, really. He actually, I think he was an executive producer, but that role can mean something or mean nothing. It's either way.
It's literally like you just sign your name on something. It's like, oh yeah, I did a Star Wars. I'll say I did this one.
Well, yeah, again, 7 was kind of a success. Like, people really liked it. And 8 really, like, shafted the fans of 7, which is really shitty. So they're like, yeah, we'll put Abrams' name on this, but he really didn't have much to do with it. It's more so Rian Johnson, So here's the thing. Let's talk about Rose first. So when you first meet Rose, she seems all right. She like shocks Finn with a taser. You're like, yeah, I could get down with this. Seems okay. Nothing. What's the problem? And then as the movie goes on, you're like, oh my fucking god, Finn isn't doing shit. It's all Rose now. Finn doesn't do shit this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then Rose is like, I fucking hate that they torture the animals. These rich fuckers. They make weapons and they torture animals. And then they're like, we're gonna save the animals. And then the slave kids are like, alright, goodbye. We're slaves still. Like, it fucking pisses me off.
She's also just annoying. She's not interesting at all.
They didn't make
like
her...
every time she had dialogue, I was just like, I don't care.
They didn't make her like quirky and funny. Like Rey and Finn are both like goofy.
Yeah.
And when you see them together, they have fantastic chemistry. Like Finn and Rey are fucking awesome to watch together. And then they pair Finn with this like.
Yeah.
I was cheering for her to die in that final scene.
Same.
And then she peeled out of it alive, and I was like, God damn it.
I don't think anyone likes Rose. No. And it's like...
No.
Well, it's like, I don't... Like, why did you make a new character when you already had 3 new ones? Like, why did we need more new characters?
They needed their fucking Jar Jar.
That's basically what she...
They wanted more diversity.
Yeah.
No, so that's the thing. I think it is a diversity thing because she not only ticks the box of being Asian, but they want more representation of women who aren't like super attractive or whatever. And it's like,
and she likes animals, and she has a good
this is like the dorky girl that
like,
dorky dweebs can relate to. And it's like, that's fine and all, but at least write her something to do that fits her personality's type. She goes from being a janitor to being like a fucking space hero.
Yeah.
And then she's not funny. She has no, and it's not that you have to be funny, but have at least one good quality. Like, are you going to be the funny one? You're going to be the cool one? You're going to be the smart one? And she's none of those. So
she's just there.
She's just there. And that's the thing. It's like she's not even annoying. She's just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Holdo, otherwise known as the old woman with purple hair. People also really fucking hate Holdo. Everyone I know hates Holdo.
I don't... This probably speaks a lot about her, but I don't remember her.
She's the one who wrecked the starship into the other starship.
Yeah, she used the light speed into the starship. Yeah.
Which
the one who's in charge
of
that.
Pretty cool.
Isn't that...
that seems great.
Weaponized light speed. Like that.
She was like the captain of the ship, right?
Yeah, when Leia
when
Leia got injured, she became the captain of the ship. She's also the actress. Yeah. She's the actress from Jurassic Park.
Yeah. I know who it is.
She she was just dumb. She was just mean for no reason to Poe. But it's the movie's following its line of logic that Poe shouldn't have gone after the Dreadnought. But the Dreadnought is a fleet destroyer, and so a ship destroyer can destroy a big ship. A fleet destroyer could destroy all of them right there, and I will remind you guys that this is the entire Resistance.
Yeah.
So this Dreadnought has the ability to win the war, so Poe sacrifices some of his men to kill it, so that way they live, and then they're all mad at Poe for doing that. But it's really hard for me to side with her when it's like, okay, but Poe did the right thing.
So like back to what you said about Episode 7, it's Star Wars. It's a war. People are going to die. Like, you don't just sign up because, like, you're like, all of us are going to, like, in, like, 2 years, we're all just going to be hanging out in a bar, just having a good time. There's going to be, like, maybe half of you there.
Yeah, and it's like...
that's war.
It's like, in Episode 5, Luke is like, come on, guys, let's wrap around the AT-AT. And, his friend died.
Yeah.
Luke's pilot guy, or his gunner guy died or whatever. There's 2 guys in a ship. He died. And the captains weren't like, Luke, you fucked it all up. Some of our men died.
No, like, people are gonna fucking
die. That's what they're signing up for.
Right. They know whenever you sign up for something like that, it's this is bigger than me, and I'm gonna give my life to this.
Rose's sister was the one who blew up the Dreadnought. She's a fucking hero. Yeah. She died for the cause.
That's like statue worthy. Like, she'll have like her own fucking statue.
And I'm not saying that like, use people as fodder and sometimes, put them on suicide missions or whatever. But, like, they were trying their best. Shit went south, And, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to get mad at Poe when the alternative is everyone dies.
Yeah.
So,
Also,
if the alternative was different, and then Poe would have actually been like a cocky hotshot. But it wasn't. The alternative was do this or we lose the war. So
if you if you have someone who's willing to go on a suicide mission,
right,
and that's worth it, like it's worth it to lose some people, you should do it.
Yeah,
like it's like
you have to weigh lives against lives.
It's like okay, it's like so we could like win the war like 3 years early, or we
die.
like or like 6 guys and 6 guys have to die, or we keep these 6 guys alive that we're like. Pretty all right with like we don't know them very well. They're just like soldiers, and I'm like way up in the military. But like
I'm gonna assume
I don't want to lose them.
Like I'm gonna assume the Dreadnought have the ability to wipe them out as well.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna die.
Yeah, they were going to die anyway.
And you know what? What I love about that scene is that it shows her half of the necklace, and she grabs onto it, kind of signaling that like she's doing this for her sister, and that's actually a good scene. But they also wrote later that Poe was wrong. And the movie makes you want to believe that Poe was the wrong one. Because, and then later, Holdo has a plan. She doesn't want to tell Poe what it is. And then Holdo does the plan, but Poe does a mutiny. Because Poe doesn't trust her. And as the audience, you kind of don't trust her either. Maybe you wouldn't do a mutiny, but you're trying to see where this is going. And it turns out to be a clusterfuck to watch as the audience. By the time Leia's back up, she's like, Holdo knew that if we sent people in escape pods, they wouldn't target us. And then, like, almost all of them die. Like, all the escape pods get blasted one by one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a dumb plan. Yeah. So, let's talk about the other thing people hate. Flying Leia in space.
Yeah.
Joey?
Okay. I just did not understand that.
It was just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, Leia, like in
she didn't use the Force at all or whatever throughout any of the time she was in the movies, and then all of a sudden she could do that, fly through space.
But it makes sense that she's Force sensitive.
Yeah,
it makes sense that she has the Force, but it's not. My problem's not that she used the Force to fly, which is silly. But we could be okay. Maybe she's using the Force to pull herself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But she's in space unconscious for how long? You know. And did she make a Force shield around her or something? Like, how is she?
She's not that.
How is she okay out there?
She's a Green Lantern now.
Yeah, she's a Green Lantern now.
She's not like.
Well, people compare her flying to like Superman because she reaches her hand out and it looks really silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She may be Force sensitive, but she's not that powerful with the Force. Like.
It did seem kind of like, I don't know. Like I don't mind her. I don't mind her using the Force, but yeah, it is out of nowhere. Like you need to do this in a better scene.
It would have been cooler to have her do it in a more minor way.
And
yeah.
Not only that, but that scene also kills Admiral Akbar. And if you're gonna make a scene where Leia blows up and then flies in space and it makes no sense and it looks fucking stupid, why'd you have to also kill Akbar? Like, just get rid of that entire scene. Do something else.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that just upset that scene. Also, so when I saw that, and when we all saw that, Leia was dead in real life.
Yeah.
And they show her just explode and fly into space. And I was like, my jaw was dropped.
Carrie Fisher had just died.
Yeah, well, she died that year. She died, like, right after Rogue One came out. Which was actually, like, really sad, because Leia was in Rogue One, too.
Yeah.
But, it made me, like, really sad. I thought I was going to get teary and emotional watching 8. When I watched 7 right after she died, and just seeing her, I was like, I couldn't help it. I was, like, crying. Because I was like, damn, I really didn't want her to die. I wanted her to be in these movies.
You're a bitch.
Shut up. Shut up. And then, watching episode 8, I didn't feel emotional at all. I was just like, what the fuck? And then I watched the guy review it, and he was like, you see her die in the movie, and then you're like, man, I wish she could fly back to life, like in real life, like in the movie. But she can't, because she's dead.
Also, like, as in bad taste as it would have been, they could have just rewrote the movie and had her not fly back at all.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I guess that makes it better. But I was still like, I don't want to see Carrie Fisher be exploded.
Yeah.
She's dead. It's really sad. I don't like when she came back for 7. I actually watched a lot of her interviews. I watched a lot of everyone's interviews for 7, and hers were fucking hilarious because she would just bring her dog like a fucking old woman would do. And the dog was like retarded. Its tongue was always out sideways. And then she would derail every interview. She wouldn't let them ask any fucking questions. And she would just be like, I don't fucking know. And it was hilarious. And she was like, what are they going to do? Fire me? Like, I'm fucking Princess Leia. And like, it was amazing. And then seeing her die, like, literally the next year was super sad for that reason. So... and so episode 8 shows her be blown up. So I don't even the whole flying through space thing. It does look cheesy and bad. I can get over that, but I wish I didn't have to. I don't know. At that time, it was like too soon for me. But now I don't care. Whatever. She's dead. Who cares? No. She's gonna be in episode 9, by the way. I already saw someone compare a side by side episode 7 and episode 9. They used the same exact footage of her from 7. Her head like moves the same way and bobs around the same way, and they just gave her like new lines, I guess.
Okay.
So she's in the movie still because she's not dead in the canon, but she's dead in real life. So I kind of wish she just wasn't in the movies, but that's why it's so sad that she died, though. So I don't blame them that much. What else is bad about 8? Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
is anyone in the Luke Skywalker his bad camp? You guys?
What?
Do you not like Luke Skywalker in episode 8?
No, I don't.
No,
He's supposed to be the most powerful Jedi that has ever lived. And Rey, who has never had any training, just beats him up.
What do you think, Joey?
Well, I just think, like, you hear about Luke, this super powerful Jedi that could do all these things, and then you just see him, he's given up on everything.
Exactly, yeah.
And
also they include that weird scene of him milking the thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
We didn't need milk.
I've seen someone take like fan art, and it was Kylo with his shirt off.
Yeah.
And then he grabs Kylo's nipples and squirts green milk out of it.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does the whole thing where he's got the milk mustache and Kylo's looking shocked.
It's trying to show how Luke just really doesn't give a shit, but it's like, it's just so corny. It doesn't really fit.
The whole point in the original series was that Luke gives all the shits about everything, and then to see him just all give.
I kind of saw what they were going for. I mean, I know exactly what they were going for.
Yeah.
It just, it might make an interesting character for Star Wars. It seems unbelievable for a character like Luke, you know. And I understand the criticisms and all, but like, and like giving Luke.
It's just not how Luke is.
It's like, yes, you're giving Luke depth. You're giving him some dimension to him, but like the whole point is Luke literally learned all of his lessons already. So while some people are like, "Oh, you guys are just mad that they made Luke have character growth," it's like, no, but we've already seen him have character growth. And it's fine for him to be a flat character, but
it should just be like Obi-Wan was to,
right. So
it also makes me mad how
be the Obi-Wan to Rey.
Yeah, it makes me mad how he doesn't want to do anything, help Rey at all or anything. But he did leave a map so someone can find him. If he didn't want to do anything at all, he wouldn't have made that. But
it makes you wonder if this is what JJ really intended at the end of 7, for Rey to find Luke, just for Luke to be like, nah, I'm not going to help you.
Also...
But it's not like Luke.
No, so by the end of the movie, yes, Luke is himself again. But it's like, episode 8, the entire movie is wait for 9. Because the whole movie, it's like, who's Rey's parents? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's Snoke? I don't know. He's dead now. And it's like...
We're going to talk about that scene.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, at least we get to see Luke back, right? Like, we got to see Harrison Ford back as Han Solo in 7, and it was Han Solo back, and it was awesome.
So he's doing cool things also.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, he killed people with, like, the Wookiee bowcaster.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like this thing. This is awesome. It's awesome to see that shit. And then we're like, finally, we're going to get Luke back now. Like, I was fine waiting a whole movie for Luke. But now it's like, you want Luke back, you have to wait till 9. No, why should I wait for... Just put Luke in fucking 8.
Yeah.
So, at least Luke does something really cool at the end. I know some people don't even like that part, but I at least like that part at the end. But it's like, Jesus Christ, again, it's fine. You want to make, like, a character arc, character growth moment. But you know who could have used that? Your main character, Rey, who has almost no character growth in this movie at all. In episode 7, she actually did learn a lesson. She actually did learn that she has to accept who she is. And in episode 8, she doesn't really learn much. Yeah. She does nothing.
What were you going to say, Jeremiah?
I don't remember it all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I kind of interrupted you.
You're all good. Like,
okay.
But, yeah.
And then Rey is just so overpowered in that movie all of a sudden. She has no training, then suddenly she's beating Kylo when she shouldn't be able to beat Kylo.
I don't mind her being strong in the Force, but it is weird that she knows how to fight with a lightsaber really, really well. I guess she was training on that planet, but she was training by herself.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And it's not... I guess it's okay for her to be powerful in the Force in a way.
Yeah.
But, still, the things that she does with the Force, she should have been trained in by someone who's more powerful than she is, but she just goes ahead and does it.
Yeah, it's like Rian Johnson was basically like, okay, the fans are expecting Rey to get some training by Luke, because Luke got trained by Yoda. Well, I'm not going to do that, because everything I do is the opposite. And I'm going to do the opposite, but he forgot that if you make her have no training, then she's going to be pathetic.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, we'll just make her know stuff. And it's like, wait a minute.
How?
You fucked it up, Ryan.
Or she used the staff.
Yeah,
a staff's not a lightsaber.
Well,
still gives her some experience with a weapon, though.
It gives her some experience, but I just don't...
It's like canon that a lightsaber is a weapon of the Force. You have to be... To really use a lightsaber, you have to know things about the Force. And it's different than a staff.
It is implied that she read the books. It just doesn't show that on screen for some reason.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I will say this. I really do like that Luke is like, the Jedi are awful because the prequels, the Jedi were fucking stupid. And I was like, that's true.
Yeah.
And then Rey was like, no, but you're cool. Because what you did in the original trilogy was fucking badass. That's also true. So I like that they had a back and forth. They were both right, but Luke was wrong for not believing in the Jedi. But to me, when he's the guy himself who redefined what it means to be a Jedi, because he doesn't follow the old way, then why would he be stuck in the old way? Again, that's where I'm drawing problems with this. But Kylo Ren in episode 8. I liked him in episode 8.
He was better in episode 8.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren.
I can't.
He was better.
He was better, that's it.
See, him talking to Rey using the Force, I guess,
Oh yeah,
that's the only that I could quite remember.
I really didn't like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys liked it. I thought it was so stupid and corny.
I didn't quite like it.
I just was like, why is this even in this movie? Episode 8 just has bizarre decisions to me.
Can we talk about how the fight scene is really bad at the end?
With Rey and Kylo, or Luke and Kylo?
Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
That fight scene's really bad. It's so bad.
It looks cool,
the first time you see it.
They're fighting in front of a background that's just stars.
Yeah.
And there's fire behind them. But yeah, the more times you watch it, for me, I agree. Because I've seen this movie 4 times now.
The fighting choreography is not great at all.
It's kind of whack.
Yeah. And then to see Kylo kill Snoke all of a sudden, which makes sense because of the rule of twos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it makes sense for Kylo to want to kill Snoke.
Yeah.
The way he did it was kind of silly, but I mean, it makes sense.
I don't think a full blown Sith Lord will just let a lightsaber cut off your head all of a sudden.
It also was we didn't see Snoke do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of seemed like Snoke was a waste of time. I'm hoping 9 fixes that and explains who he is and stuff. But it seems like an 8. They're just fuck Snoke, and it's why would you do a character just to say fuck him?
Right, and with Palpatine, he's super powerful. So if Snoke's supposed to be the same level of Sith Lord as Palpatine was, then right. Snoke's got to be just as powerful, if not.
Well, I guess he's not.
Right. Yeah. So
but he shoots lightning bolts out of his fingers in episode 8.
Yeah.
So it's okay, he's got to be pretty strong with the dark side.
If Kylo tried to do that whole lightsaber trick to Palpatine would have been no, fuck you, and just grab the lightsaber right out of the air.
It seems like Rian Johnson kind of reinvented a lot of rules for Star Wars just because he didn't know what to write. And it's if you're not gonna fit. So here's the thing about The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is a good show.
Have you watched?
Yes, the newest episode's already out, guys.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It's really good.
We don't have to talk about that. But the reason why Mandalorian's a good show is because Star Wars is this big universe.
And it doesn't just follow the Jedi.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a story about what we've seen time and time again. So you can write stories that are different for Star Wars without breaking the rules of Star Wars. But Rian Johnson didn't do that. He broke all the rules for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So
and then all the fans got pissed off because he broke all the rules, and he's like, "No, you don't like the movie because there's women in it." And everyone's like, "Okay, what?"
That was just that year. What year was that? 2017 or 2018?
Yeah, that was 2017.
Those 2 years were terrible about that.
Because in 2016 is when we had the Ghostbusters movie.
Okay, yeah.
And it was like, guys, stop saying this excuse every time the movie does bad.
It's like episode you just keep making bad movies that you keep involving these women in.
Yeah.
And
I think it's just so that they can put all the blame on the women.
Well, it's like Rose is only one bad thing. We named so many bad things that had nothing to do with Rose.
Right.
You know? It's like if Rose was the only boring shit, though, I mean, those scenes with Finn and Rose are just so boring.
Yeah.
And they take up so much time.
But then they're just like, oh, you don't like it because there's women?
No, I don't like it because it's a side quest that goes nowhere. At the end, they fucking fail.
Yeah.
And then more of the troopers die. And by the end of the fucking movie, there's 12 Resistance members. They all fit inside the Millennium Falcon. That's the fucking army? That's the entirety of the Resistance? Kind of stupid.
Yeah.
That's what makes the movie unsatisfying. It's at the end, they're all, cheery and happy and laughing in the Falcon. And it's like, everyone you know is dead. Barely any of your friends are alive still. Admiral Akbar, gone. How are you going to know when there's a trap? You're not. He's dead. So, also, he didn't even talk. He talked in 7, and the crowd clapped. The crowd was like, Akbar! And in 8, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
The level of hype for the episode 7, in the theater, was the most I've ever seen for a movie. The scene, Avengers didn't touch that. None of the Avengers movies did.
The scene where Rey is they're running, Finn and Rey are running, and he's like, oh, what about that ship? He goes, that ship's a piece of trash. We can't use it. And then they go to a new ship, and the ship gets blown up. She goes, the piece of trash will do. And it pans over to the Falcon. Everyone's going, whoa, yeah. I know what that is. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone calls the Millennium Falcon a piece of trash.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, but I love that because it's even though that's such blatant fan service, at the same time, we didn't know the Falcon was on Jakku. And to Rey, she doesn't know what that is. We know that. So it's a really awesome scene, actually. And also, even if it is fan servicey, that's how we get Han Solo and Chewbacca back into the movie. Mm-hmm. And we need them written in somehow. So, episode 7's hype was amazing.
For sure.
And then episode 8 was whoa, you want to know who Rey's parents are? They're nothing. You're nobody. You're not special.
Yeah.
And it's Rian Johnson is being so condescending to all the fans. And we're like, dude, why would you take a movie that was so successful, one of the only good soft reboots in movie history, and just fucking give everyone the middle finger? And then be like, well, I'm a talented director who challenges his audience. It's like, no, you just made a fucking boring ass movie and then said nothing happens. You're gonna learn everything in 9. Okay, this movie is called filler. If you weren't going to make a real sequel, then don't do a trilogy. You know.
Yeah.
If you can't make 3 movies, then don't make 3 fucking movies, you know? So, that's my thoughts on that one.
Yeah.
Are we ready to rate it?
We're going to rate this movie. Giving it a...
This is a...
Part of me still wants to give it 3 out of 5 because we didn't talk about the good stuff, which the good stuff would be the visuals are really good. Crate is a really cool planet.
Yep.
That's pretty much it because like I said, Finn was cool in 7 and not cool in 8. Yeah. I actually like Poe in 7 a lot. I like seeing Poe and Finn's dynamic in 7, them being friends and being bros. And they're just bro, you can have my jacket. And he's like, bro, that means so much to me. And then Finn's still wearing the jacket in 8. And Poe's got a million jackets probably. He doesn't care. I actually really like Poe. And then Poe's You get more character development for Poe in 8, and he's just, like, fucked over the whole movie. Like, Finn and Poe get fucked so hard in this movie. Rey's the only one that has, like, positive screen time, and she does nothing. Right. She's not even a part of the final fight. Like, she just flies the Falcon. And then all the stormtroopers, like, stop fighting the Resistance and go after the Falcon only. All of the troops go on her. And she's like, yeah, come follow me. I'm going to distract you. And then Finn goes, man, they really hate that ship. Let's go. It's like, oh my fucking God with this shit. But yeah, so you know what? I couldn't even name that many good things. So I'm going to have to give this movie a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, 2 out of 5.
Yeah, 2 out of 5, I guess.
Yep. Like prequel level. Like,
you know, it's funny. A lot of people say the casino stuff is prequel level because there's a diner in episode 2. There's just like a straight up 50s diner in episode 2 with like a robot that's like a fucking waitress, and she's like, what can I do for you, honey? And it's like everyone's like, what the fuck is this real life shit in episode 2? And then episode 8 does the same fucking thing. It has like a real American casino in Star Wars. Yeah, it's fucking bizarre. So yeah, we all agreed. It's what do we all say 2?
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
I really hope just 9 is better.
The first time I watched 8, I was like, that was weird. And then the second time I was like, you know what? Now that I'm not worried about the reveals, I enjoyed it for what it was. Third time I watched it, I was like, ugh, this movie's fucking boring.
Yeah.
And then the fourth time I watched it, I skipped all the scenes with Rey and Finn, not with Rey. I skipped all the scenes with Finn and Rose. And then it made me hate the Luke and Rey stuff, which I used to never hate. Because I was like, now that I'm analyzing these scenes further, I really don't like them very much.
I kind of like the part with the youngling.
Oh, we get to see Kylo as a youngling?
No. Okay.
Well, it's a Padawan, but what do you say?
No, when the child like picks up the broom with the Force.
Oh yeah. No,
and it's like, oh, there's still Force sensitives out there.
Yeah, that's all.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great. Like Rian Johnson, he had some good ideas, but he's like one of the main writers for the movie, and it's like, dude, you guys should have helped him out. Like now the entire internet fucking hates him, and it's like, guys. And then Knives Out comes out this year. It's directed by Rian Johnson.
It was really good.
Everyone says it's phenomenal. Everyone's saying it's like the best movie this year. It's like, dude, he can do good stuff. Give him some help, Disney.
Yeah.
You're a fucking $1 trillion goddamn company. Give him some fucking help.
I just don't think Star Wars was the right movie for him to direct.
Well, I mean, you might be right. I just, how do you spend that much money on Star Wars, and then you're not even going to, first of all, plan these 3 movies out ahead of time, and second of all, you can't even like help the motherfucker write one of the most important movies. Like, people are comparing this to Episode 5. That's like the best fucking movie ever made. And you're gonna like not help him, and now it's like people hate this movie more than the prequels now, which I disagree with. But at the same time, like, you know, there's reasons to not like this movie. Yeah, it's not that great. I still, you know, I don't think it's cancer. I'd rather watch it than Episode 1 and 2 probably.
Yeah.
But god damn it, do I hate it at the same time.
The first time I saw it, I was like, Star Wars, I had to like it, and it was like, no, they didn't.
I've only seen it the one time, but
yeah, I've only seen it once. I don't have a desire to go see it again.
Yeah, no.
I was planning on watching all of the Star Wars movies before 9, but I'm probably not going to be able to do that.
Unless we start right now.
Yeah. Well, I recently watched the prequels, and now 4, 5, and 6 I have to watch, and then I get to watch 7 and 8. However, 7 I've watched a million times. I have it on Blu-ray over there, but it's also on Disney Plus now. 7 is a fucking joy to watch. I love watching 7. It's 8 that I have a problem with. But you know what? Let's talk about Rogue One.
Okay, are we going to do Rogue One?
This is going to be a long one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this podcast is going to be long. It's already over an hour.
Okay.
We're an hour and 26 in, yeah.
Okay, you like Rogue One.
I didn't have any problems with it. It set up Episode 4, and that was basically it. Everyone dies, you knew it.
Yeah. It was. Jeremiah, did you get time to watch it?
No.
You're not applicable for this.
No, I just saw the Darth Vader scene.
Yeah, I watched it, but I just mainly like the end with Darth Vader.
The Darth Vader scene was really cool.
That's my favorite
the Darth
part.
Vader scene is. Yeah, you say it's the only part you like.
Pretty much. It wasn't my favorite movie.
I don't like Rogue One.
Okay, why?
The characters are boring as fuck.
Yeah.
None of them have any personality. Okay. And so to me, when I watch a movie, I like good characters. That's why I can watch a movie like 7, which doesn't have the best plot ever, but at least it has some good characters. And then when you watch episode 2 and people are like, this movie's original, and I'm like, yeah, but they fucking... I don't like any of them.
Yeah. Everyone's an idiot.
And then, so when you watch Rogue One, no one's an idiot or anything. They're just like, they're just not captivating to watch. Everyone's kind of flat, basically.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because they die at the end. But
I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, well, yeah.
You should honestly have more character growth if you're gonna kill all your characters.
Yeah, I need to love them.
Yeah.
But like even when we meet Jin's dad, the girl's dad, it's Mads Mikkelsen. He's a great actor. He doesn't do shit. I have no reason to like him. He doesn't do fucking shit. He's just like they kind of did the Anakin Darth Vader bullshit where Anakin's like, I'm a good guy. I only killed children because I had to. And then like in this movie, it's like I built the Death Star weapon. But not because I wanted to. I'm a good guy. I promise. And it's like, shut up. I'd rather him be a villain or something. Yeah. That movie just, I don't know. It just seemed like a wasted opportunity. But, it was directed by the guy who does the Godzilla movies, the new ones. And when you put that into perspective, then it's like, oh, so it's like a slower, drawn out, big picture kind of movie. It's not about the little guys. And I gotta say, Rogue One has some of the best war scenes of any of the Star Wars movies. The ground war when they are attacking the Empire and the space battle in that movie is fucking great.
Yeah.
The space battle in that movie is like one of the best. That movie does a lot of like action scenes right, but everything else, and the action scenes aren't very good until the very end. And that's kind of my problems with Rogue One. It's kind of just boring as fuck. And by the time you get to the action, you're so bored that you have to kind of it's hard to care. So, I might give it like a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, 2 out of 5.
If you like it,
I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Jim, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Joey?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
I said 2 out of 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I really didn't like Rogue One.
It wasn't my favorite.
All right, well, then how about Solo?
Solo! I like Solo.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I did like Solo.
Solo, people hated on it. Because Han Solo didn't need a prequel. We didn't need this movie did not need to exist.
Yeah,
I agree. However, I still like the movie.
Yeah. I think Han Solo is just a cool character. Any movie with Han Solo in it is going to be really cool.
Well, see, I thought I wasn't going to like it because it wasn't Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's true. I did kind of.
But I said, you know what? This movie's got great supporting characters. It's got like Donald Glover in it. It's got like Woody Harrelson in it. I'm probably gonna like these characters at the end of the day.
Donald Glover is also known as Childish Gambino. If you didn't know that.
If you're into the rap game, if you're into rap music, and I was like, you know what?
He made the Rap God
song. No, he didn't. Don't lie to these people. But I was like, you know what? Even if I don't like Han Solo in this movie, I like everyone. And then Han Solo was my favorite character in the movie. The actor was actually great.
Han Solo, you're supposed to like and hate Han Solo at the same time.
He was perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know if was it Ron Howard, the director? Was it the writers? Or was it the actor? I don't know, but it fucking works. Like, it's good.
Yeah. Like in the original trilogy, you like Han Solo a lot, but you also hate him because he's kind of a scumbag.
He's kind of a scumbag. And then he kind of gets redeemed by the end. In this movie, this is like a dirtier Star Wars movie, but it's still lighthearted and fun.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with Rogue One was it was really dirty, but it was boring. Yeah. Whereas when you watch Solo, you get a good variety here. Joey, do you hate Solo or do you like Solo?
I liked it, but it's been such a long time since I saw it. I can't really remember anything about it.
Vision is the bad guy. Vision from Marvel. Like, the guy who plays Vision, he's the bad guy. And then Darth Maul's at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't fight Darth Maul. He's just there.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, same.
So everyone said that a character from the Clone Wars was going to appear in Solo. And I was like, oh, it's Darth Maul. And everyone's like, well, it might not be Darth Maul. I was like, no, it's Darth Maul. Trust me, it's fucking going to be Darth Maul. And then it was, and I was right. The only thing is, whenever they're fighting like those like other troopers, those like people who end up helping them at the end, I was like, one of them is Darth Maul. The whole movie, I was like, one of them is Darth Maul. They're gonna unmask as Darth Maul, and then it wasn't Darth Maul. So
this was set before Episode 1.
Solo?
Yeah.
No, it's set before Episode 4. The Empire already exists in this movie. Remember? There's already stormtroopers.
Okay.
So this is before Episode 4. In fact, Han Solo actually joins the Imperial Army at one point.
Right. And
that's how he meets Chewbacca, and that was one of the coolest scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
When he's like chained to Chewbacca, and like that's the thing. Episode 7.
Oh, okay. I remember what Darth Maul is not a Sith Lord in this one. He's like the leader of a gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No. So the thing is about Darth Maul is that he dies in Episode 1, but in the Clone Wars, which is canon, he comes back, and so he's back in this movie because he didn't die yet. He dies later. He still dies before 4. They showed his death in Rebels, but he's alive in Solo, so that's cool. And then when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna cancel these movies now because everyone didn't watch Solo and Solo bombed," and it's really sad because it's like I don't even care that much about Episode 9. I would have loved to seen a Solo 2 or a sequel movie, like because they were talking about doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie before the show, and I was like, "Damn, they're gonna put Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan in a movie."
That'd be cool.
But now we're like just hoping the Obi-Wan show will feature Darth Maul. Is basically what we're hoping.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Fucking awesome.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, Episode 7 had some great Chewbacca moments. Episode 8 didn't do shit with Chewbacca. Chewbacca didn't do fucking shit that whole movie.
Oh, it was so sad seeing Chewbacca.
Neither did BB-8. BB-8 and Chewbacca didn't do shit in Episode 8, and they're like two best characters in 7.
Yeah. It was so sad just seeing Chewbacca mourn, though.
In 7?
Yeah.
I literally said to my friend the day of, like, if Han Solo dies in this movie, because a lot of us were predicting he would, if he dies in this movie, Chewbacca better go beast mode and start shooting everyone. And he fucking did.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is how they know Chewbacca. And I love that Chewbacca's like Rey's friend now.
Yeah.
But again, in 8, he didn't do anything. So in Solo, you get to see this actually good relationship with Han and Chewbacca.
Yeah, you see how they actually meet and their chemistry,
Oh yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, it's so easy and cheesy. Like everyone knows what's gonna happen. But then like they did it so well. Like I love it when the Wookiees are like freed on Kessel, and then Chewbacca like hugs all the Wookiees, and then he's like, okay, but I can't leave with you. I have to stay with my friend now.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, that's a great character growth moment, and there wasn't even words used. Like you just see it visually.
He literally chose his friend over his own species.
And Han in that same Kessel attack was like, Chewie, stay with me, and Chewie's like, no, those are my fucking family. That's like my family and friends. And he's like, fine, go help your fucking species. And it's like, yeah, Han actually cares about Chewbacca. Chewbacca actually cares about Han. Like, how do people not like this movie? It makes no. It's literally they don't like it because it's Disney, and they're like everything Disney Star Wars has to be bad because 8 was bad, and it's like, guys, grow up, okay? This movie's cool. This movie's good. It has nothing to do with the new Star Wars sequel trilogy at all. It's its own thing. Just treat it like its own. And now the Mandalorian's out. It's also its own thing, and everyone fucking loves it. So
yeah, and it's made by Disney.
Yeah, it's made by Disney, but it's also made by a bunch of really great, talented people.
Yeah.
So,
that's it.
You want to rate Solo?
Yeah.
I give Solo. I want to say 4 out of 5. I want to say 3.5 out of 5 because it is a little cheesy.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one at 3.5.
I can't remember enough of it, so I'm not gonna rate it. Okay. I don't wanna.
And I've never seen it.
Okay.
I highly recommend it, but it's not on Disney Plus yet. But it is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It'll be on Netflix for like half the year still.
No, I think it's February.
Yeah, I'm hoping so because I want them all to just be on Disney
January,
Plus.
February.
I know episode 8 was on Netflix. I think it recently just came.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus.
Recently. Yeah, so I'm not gonna talk about the Clone Wars show or the Clone Wars movie for the show because it's basically the same thing.
They're good. I'm
It's got a lot of filler in it, but it is a great show. There's some fantastic moments outside of that filler.
I'm watching The Simpsons right now, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. Me too, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What season are you on?
I'm still on 1.
Oh, I'm on season, 6. So it's just getting, prime Simpsons.
Yeah.
Really funny, really good. So, after I'm done with The Simpsons, I'm probably going to watch Clone Wars.
I'm watching it right now, currently.
What do you think of it so far?
Love it.
I thought you've seen it already, Joe.
Growing up as a kid, I just seen episodes here and there. But now I'm actually restarting from the beginning.
I love it.
It's so good.
I love it. It's amazing.
I wanted to watch The Simpsons before I watched Clone Wars. It's just I started watching The Simpsons before I started watching Clone Wars, so I was like, I need to finish it.
I love The Simpsons, but I watched every episode of Simpsons as a kid. Now I just watched the reruns over and over and over. But Clone Wars was a show that before 7 came out, I just wanted to watch Star Wars stuff. And I just started watching it. And then after I watched it, everyone online was like, Clone Wars was fucking amazing. And I was like, oh yeah, I figured that out on my own. And I'm glad everyone knows this now. So everyone, watch the Clone Wars. I'm not going to review it though, but just go watch it. It's really good. Cad Bane, fucking awesome villain. You get to see Darth Maul come back. Grievous is actually badass. Fucking.
She does things in it.
You get to see other Jedi, like Plo. Master Plo is fucking cool. Ahsoka is probably one of the best characters they've ever written. She's amazing. And then she comes back in Rebels with silver lightsabers because she's not part of the Jedi Order anymore.
She's a great Jedi.
And by the way, the episode where she's leaving the Jedi Order is one of the best things I've ever seen Star Wars related ever. So, hell yeah, please watch the show. Also, you get to see this Darth Sidious fight Darth Maul. And Darth Sidious is like, guess what? And he pulls out 2 lightsabers. He's like, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. And it's fucking awesome to see Sidious with 2 lightsabers. And then shooting lightning out of his fingertips at the same time. Fucking cool. I was like, oh yeah, Darth Sidious is badass. We don't get to see this that often. Normally he's in the shadows, but he can fucking fight.
There's a reason why he's a very powerful Sith Lord.
Yeah.
And the Emperor of the galaxy.
So, very good show. Now, obviously, everyone's already watching Mandalorian, so don't need any recommendations for that. Well, yeah, Star Wars.
That's it.
I was planning on talking about other stuff eventually, but we've already kind of gone really deep into this.
Yeah,
This is one of our longest ones.
Second longest,
and we can keep going. No.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on.
Well, okay. Well, let's all say what we want for episode 9.
I want it to be better than 8.
I think it will be.
I'm ashamed.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
So, J.J. Abrams is back. That's good.
Yeah.
I like Abrams. It looks like he's putting a focus on BB-8 again. That's good.
Are we ever gonna find out anything about R2?
R2's in the movie. I've already seen lots of clips with him in it.
Yeah.
He actually does shit in this movie.
Because in
in
7 and 8, they just find him. And he's just
Well, in 7, it made sense to keep him off, and I was thinking we'd see him more in 8.
Yeah.
But again, Rian Johnson said new characters, and then everyone else kind of took the back seat.
Yeah.
The only characters that got any screen time were again Rey and Kylo. Finn got screen time, but it was only when Rose was doing something. So it was really annoying. Poe got screen time, but only when Holdo was doing something. Really annoying. You could have just put BB-8 and R2-D2 doing shit, but BB-8 doesn't do shit the whole fucking movie, and neither does R2-D2 or Chewbacca. So then episode 9, BB-8 is going to be a bigger part of it, and he hangs out with R2-D2 the whole movie from what I understand.
Awesome.
R2-D2 actually does stuff. They actually, the scene I saw, Poe, put a chip in R2-D2 or something, and R2-D2 had to take it or something. Sounds good. So from what I understand, the movie is going to be mostly Finn, Poe, and Rey, the big 3, together.
That's good.
On an adventure, doing stuff.
Fuck Rose.
And I'm like, wow, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like those 3, and also Finn and Rey have a lot of very good chemistry. They're very fun to watch together. So this should be good. And it's also the first time at the very end of 8, Poe's like, "You're Rey." And she goes, "Yeah, you're Poe." And it's like, yeah, I can't believe we had to go an entire movie. At the end of 7, you're like, oh, we're going to see Poe and Rey interact together. And then they don't fucking interact together at all in 8. So 9 should be like 9's basically gonna be the sequel that 8 should have been, from what I understand. But yeah, Abrams is back. I'm hoping it's cool and action and fun. So
yeah. Alright, well, should I end it now?
Yeah. End it.
Okay.
Kill the past. Or no, let the past go. Kill it if you have to. What's a better line we can end this on? Do it. Do it. I am the Senate.
I hate sand.
It's coarse and rough and kids everywhere.
I hate that scene. So I watched a video where someone pointed out that when Anakin buries his mom in episode 2, he gets on his hands and knees and he picks up a big handful of sand and he's like clenching his fist really hard and he never lets go of the sand. That's supposed to like mean something. It's supposed to signal that he's gripping on to what he hates because he's a dark side user. But no one fucking picks up on this because it's terribly directed and everyone's like, okay, he's just clenching his fist. And it's like, no, he grabs the sand and he hates the sand, remember? And everyone's like, no, fuck this movie. So no one really looks at that movie too hardcore to figure that out.
Honestly, if they would have like let him drop the F-bomb right there, like, he would have been like, I fucking hate sand.
He's like, fuck.
Yeah.
He just, no. Instead he cries and he's like, I killed the women and children. I did it. I killed them all.
And then Padme's like, God, I'm horny.
Padme literally just stands there with like no expression. She's just like, I don't know what to say about that. That's weird.
Okay, are we gonna fuck now?
Yeah, well then they get captured and then she's like, okay, I didn't want to admit this, but now we're gonna die. Yeah, I love you. And then it's like, nope, you didn't die though, so now you're gonna get married. See, she shouldn't have done that. So that was part of the Emperor's plot. See, Palpatine knew that if he put them in extreme danger where they're gonna die, then Padme would fall in love with Anakin, and then he would turn to the dark side later. See, it's not badly written at all. It's actually very cleverly written, because of course he would try to kill Padme and Anakin. Of course he would do that. So,
all right, well,
let's end this.
Let's end this.
All right.
Thanks, Joey.
Yeah, thanks, Joey.
Thanks for having me on.
For coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This episode wasn't as spicy.
Wasn't it? We didn't talk about pedophiles.
Literally talk about Star Wars.
We're all like huge Star Wars nerds. And
yeah, sorry. Hope you're into Star Wars. I'm probably gonna change the background for this episode to be the Death Star exploding instead of a nuclear explosion.
That's awesome.
That's what I was thinking.
Clever.
Yeah, I was trying to make this one super Star Warsy. So yeah, goodbye everyone.
Bye.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, may the force always.